playoff qualification round is completed at the 2018 Winter Olympics in Pyeongchang, South Korea. We're going to update the results and look forward to the quarterfinals. And that's coming up next. Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video here at Top Shelf Hockey. If you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by. We review and discuss all 31 NHL teams as well as international tournaments. So if you're a huge hockey fan, consider subscribing and clicking the bell so you don't miss anything. So as I mentioned off the top, the playoff qualification round at the 2018 Winter Olympics men's hockey tournament has come to a close, and we're now getting ready for the quarterfinals. So I want to recap the results from those playoff qualification rounds and look forward to the matchups that are going to be coming up shortly here in the quarterfinals. Now, we did a recap video the other day on the preliminary round coming to a close and looking forward to the games that we're about to recap here. If you missed that video, there's going to be a YouTube card up here. And in that video, I made a few predictions, so I'll do a recap here and see how I did compared to how the results actually came out. I just certainly didn't get everything right. And there was a couple surprises, in my opinion, in this round. And for some fans I know that watch the channel, so probably some pleasant surprises. So we'll start with what I think to be the biggest surprise, and I know we have a few fans that cheer for this team, so I'm sure they'll be quite happy with the results. But we had I'd call a bit of an upset. Team Norway defeated Team Slovenia 2-1 in overtime. Obviously, the Slovenian team had looked quite strong so far in the tournament, and although all their games were pretty close, they had a couple of overtime victories, but in this game, the Norwegians came through with a big victory. So in case you missed it before the game, one of these Slovenian forwards, Žiga Zeglic, was banned from the Olympic Games due to a doping violation. Zeglic was determined to have been using a banned substance, fentanyl, which he says was actually part of an asthmatic medication that he was taking. I believe was the explanation, some sort of asthma related condition, but it contained fentanyl, which is a banned substance. So he was given the boot and banned for the remainder of these games, and he had been a fairly significant forward for the Slovenian team. So I'm sure that was a fairly big blow to them going into this matchup with the Norwegians. But either way, it was still a very close game. It went to overtime, and the Norwegians came through. Alex Bonsaken scored the winning goal for the Norwegians, and I'm sure that they're just delighted with that. That's one of probably their biggest victory in quite some time. Back when Norway hosted the Olympics back in the 90s, I know they won a game back there, and I'm pretty sure this is their first victory since then. If I'm correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's their first victory since that tournament. So a big win for Norway, and now they're going to be moving on to the quarterfinals. In other action, we had Team Finland defeat Korea by a score of 5-2. Not a big surprise there. That is one that I did get correct. Unfortunately for me, I did pick the Slovenian team to beat Norway because they've been looking a lot stronger so far this tournament. So far these results puts me at 1-1. For Finland, another great performance for Eli Tolvanen. Heiskanen and Lepisto looking pretty strong as well. So that team continues to play very strongly, and those young players are certainly coming through for them and looking great. So Finland will now move on to play Team Canada in the next round. We actually had another game that I'm calling an upset. The Germans beat the Swiss by a score of 2-1, which also went to overtime. A little bit of a surprise. Now on that one, I did pick Switzerland to win. So far that puts me at 1 win and 2 losses here. So I'm 1-2 in my predictions. Seidenberg scored a winning goal in overtime for the Germans, so that's a little surprising. Team Germany typically hasn't had a ton of success at the Olympic men's hockey tournament, so that's a big victory for them. Germany will now move on to play Team Sweden in the quarterfinals. The final game in this round, which was the Team USA over Team Slovakia by a score of 5-1, which is another game. I picked the Slovaks to win. Team USA really hadn't looked very good, and the Slovaks had looked pretty strong with a couple of big victories. And the US came back, finally got their scoring going. Team USA had goals from 4 different players, including Ryan Donato, who had 2. We also had goals from James Winooski and Mark Arcobello. So the Team USA looked a lot better in this game and obviously came through with a big victory. Team USA will now move on to play the Czech Republic in the next round. So just to recap here, a lot of my predictions didn't come through from the previous round. So as I mentioned in that other video as well, this tournament is, I find, much tougher to predict. There's a lot more parity between the countries. Due to the NHL not participating, there's a lot of players in this tournament that play in a lot of other leagues that a lot of big hockey fans, even myself included, aren't as familiar with. There is a fair bit of players that I am familiar with, but there's certainly a fair bit that I'm not as well. And because of the NHL participation not being there, I find it certainly makes things a lot closer, I think, this time around. And we've seen a lot more parity in this tournament than we have in the past. And it certainly made things a lot more interesting and a lot more tougher to predict. So in that first round, I believe the only one that I really had right in the last round here was the Finns defeating Korea. I had the Swiss beating the Germans, I had the Slovaks over the US, and I had the Slovenians over Norway. So I didn't do so well in my predictions, so certainly let me know down in the comments who you predicted to win, if any of these wins were surprise wins for the teams that were victorious here. Now we'll go ahead and make another prediction here for the next round. Even though I didn't do so well, we'll take another stab at it here and see how it goes. So we're going to have Canada versus Finland. We have the Czech Republic versus USA. We have the Olympic athletes from Russia will play Norway. And we have Sweden versus Germany. So first of all, I think the Team Sweden will more than likely beat the Germans. I think they're just too strong. Germany's had a good tournament so far and obviously had a big win in the last round. But unfortunately, I think Sweden wins that game. The Olympic athletes from Russia will play Norway. I think Norway at this point has probably achieved as much as they can, and I think they're just too overmatched against the Russian team. As much as I'd love to see them have a victory, I don't see it happening, unfortunately. The Czech Republic versus the USA. I'm still going to stick with the Czech Republic here. I think they look to be the stronger team so far in this tournament, and I think, unfortunately for the Americans, I think the Czech Republic takes this one. Canada versus Finland. Obviously, being a Canadian, I might be a little bit biased here, but I'm going to have to go ahead and pick Team Canada. The Finns have looked strong, and to be honest, in this game, I would not be shocked if Finland were to win. The Finns have looked really, really strong so far, but I have to go with Team Canada. So that would, if I'm right, that would set up a matchup of a Canada versus Sweden and the Czech Republic against the Olympic athletes from Russia in the semifinals. So certainly go ahead and give me your thoughts on who's going to win this next round. The quarterfinals are getting underway here shortly and look to be pretty interesting with a lot of unpredictability here on who's going to win. With it being a short tournament like this, you certainly got to bring your best game forward or you stand a chance to get bounced from the tournament and not win a medal. Don't forget as well to follow us on social media. You're going to see our Twitter handle on the screen right here. We're also on Facebook and Instagram, and all those accounts are linked down below in the description. As always, thank you very much for watching, everybody. We will catch you next time.